Welcome back, everyone, to my review of Killers of the Flower Moon with spoilers. This is the one where I'm going to spoil everything. Not everything. I'm going to give some stuff away. Um, directed by the great Martin Scorsese, is starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, the criminally underrated Jesse Plemons, John Lithgow, Brendan Fraser, and Lily Gladstone. The costumes in this movie were spot on. It was just the set design, location cinematography. It was absolutely beautiful to look at. All right, it's based off the true story of the Osage, Oklahoma murders. The Osage reservation comes into oil. They get rich, like mega rich. And the white man starts coming around. Now, Robert De Niro plays William Hale. He's been a friend to the Osage community forever. Like, they accept him as one of their own. But he has sinister thoughts. When they come into oil, he feels he deserves this money for some reason. So the Osage members die one by one, like they start to get killed. And Ernest, Leonardo DiCaprio, is his nephew. He comes home. He was a cook in the war. He comes home to Robert De Niro's place. He's going to take care of him because Leonardo DiCaprio's slow. They mention that in the movie. He's not that smart. And he has something wrong with his stomach, so he can't lift anything. So Robert De Niro puts him to work as a cab driver, essentially. Which is where he meets Molly, played by Lily Gladstone. He meets Molly. He does fall for her. He falls for her hard. And then Robert De Niro kind of puts it in his head, like, if you marry her, if something happens to her, the money's yours, type thing. So, as the Osage community starts dying, investigators show up who go missing. Figure that out. They get killed, it shows it. And it does show Ernest doing some stuff. Now, Molly has diabetes. Like, her mother dies, which I believe is natural causes. But her brother gets killed. Her sister's murdered. And her first husband gets killed because Leonardo DiCaprio is a little bit jealous. But so she has diabetes. At this time, insulin's new. 5 people in the world can get it. She's one of them. It's not really helping. Robert De Niro gets it in his head, like, let's mix some stuff in it to keep her sick. Because she went to Washington to plead with the president to send investigators to do something about it. Because no one's doing anything about these murders. So Leonardo DiCaprio starts giving her stuff with her insulin to keep her sick so she's not fighting. And it gets to the point where he regrets it because he loves her. So he actually takes the rest of himself, which I assumed was the vial's empty. If Robert De Niro looks, it's empty. He's been giving it to her. That's what I assumed because they didn't really specify why he took it himself. And they have some kids. Eventually, the president does send the FBI. The main agent is played by Jesse Plemons. And he starts investigating around. They kind of figure stuff out, like, because Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro doesn't do anything himself. He hires it out. So they hire this guy, kill this person, blow up that house with Molly's sister Rita and her husband Bill in it. Big explosion. And so eventually Leonardo DiCaprio, he kind of gets caught. He decides he's going to testify against his uncle for a plea deal, and everybody convinces him, like, they're not really going to show any leniency and stuff like that. So through all this, Molly and Ernest still love each other. After a while, Leonardo DiCaprio, like, John Lithgow plays the prosecutor. Brendan Fraser plays the defense attorney for Robert De Niro. Absolutely brilliant casting. Brendan Fraser wants to meet with Ernest. He agrees. So when he goes in, there's all these white people in the room. And somehow, Brendan Fraser's character convinces Ernest, the cops beat you, the agents beat you and tortured you. Yeah, they beat me. Like, they didn't. But he convinces them that they did. Like, they're going to turn on you. Like, you got to stick up for your uncle. Your uncle's the only family you have, type thing. So he changes his mind. Now, while he's in the holding cell, waiting trial, and Robert De Niro's character is across the hall, his youngest kid dies, being sick, and he's let out for the funeral, and he sees Molly, all obviously upset her daughter's dead, and he kind of realizes he has to be there for his family. He has to do the right thing. So he tells Robert De Niro, I'm going to tell the truth. And he does. Now, when he goes on the stand, he says all this stuff like, I'm the one that hired this person that killed the first husband. I was in on this, I was in on that. And Molly, like, asks him, she comes to visit him, like, is that everything? Is that the truth? And he said, yeah, I feel like this weight off my shoulders and all this stuff. She said, like, what were you giving me? And he just looks at her like, what, in my insulin, what was in there? And he lies, says just insulin. She gets up and leaves because she knows there was something in it. And it was based off a true story. I was kind of wondering something after that. If he would have admitted, I was giving you something, and I changed my mind and took it myself, and stuff like that, would she have forgiven him? Would they have stayed together? I don't know. I really don't, because it seemed like she did still love him, and because she's willing to forgive, like, her sisters were killed and he knew about it. Stuff like that. So I did wonder that, but this movie had great performances all around, and when Oscar season comes, it will not surprise me at all to see this movie mentioned. Lily Gladstone. Okay, I watch a lot of movies. If you're watching this video, if you watch my channel, you know I watch a lot of movies. Lily Gladstone right now is my front runner to win Best Actress. What an amazing job she did in this movie. It was like her character started off kind of subtle. Subtle but beautiful. Just the small things, just such a captivating performance. Every time she was on screen, I was lost. In a good way. And it was just amazing. Like, the performances all around, as you would expect from this cast, was just tremendous. I don't have enough good things to say about this movie. It was just, I will definitely be watching it again. I'm going to buy it when it comes out. I'm going to watch it over and over because there's always something you missed the first time around, especially being 3.5 hours long. And it's a testament to the job Scorsese did as director and the editor and everything else, where 3.5 hours did not feel like 3.5 hours. I'm giving this movie 4.5 Willows out of 5. And the only reason I'm not going 5 Willows is because there were a couple parts where there was music and it was very high pitched and it started to give me a headache. That's the only reason. But other than that, just amazing. Amazing movie. So that's it. 4.5 Willows out of 5. Go see Killers of the Flower Moon if you have not seen it yet. It will blow your mind. Thanks, everybody.